Built in the 18th century, severely damaged by invading British forces in 1812, damaged by the Java War between 1825 and 1830, mostly destroyed by an earthquake in 1867, and yet another one in 2006. What we see in this video are not just the remains of a former royal garden, but also a display of perseverance by locals to keep traditions alive. We find ourselves in what locals call the Water Palace, Taman Sari of Yogyakarta. This former royal garden complex is located about 2 kilometers from Keraton Ngayogyakarta Hadiningrat, the royal palace of Yogyakarta. The over 12-hectare site was constructed in the years after the Treaty of Chianti between the Dutch and the local rulers of Prince Mangkubumi and Sunan Pakubuwono. This treaty caused the Sultanate of Mataram to be split into two after Pakubuwono II, the former king of Mataram, found himself at the losing side of a rebellion against the Dutch. The popular local name, Taman Sari, is Javanese and loosely translates to Garden of Beautiful Flowers. Those gardens are gone now, as the area had basically fallen into disuse after the British took it over, and the population of the city of Yogyakarta continued to grow. What does remain is open to the public nowadays and does not have any official royal function any longer, although it does culturally. The 1867 Central Java earthquake probably did the most damage to the complex. The estimated 7.8 magnitude quake struck off the southern coast and was felt across the island of Java and even parts of Bali. Main buildings of the complex were severely damaged or even completely destroyed, making it impossible for the hydraulic works to operate at all, definitively ending the internet use of the complex. The roughly 10% of the original complex that remains to this day, and indeed has been renovated multiple times, including after the devastating 6.4 magnitude 2006 Yogyakarta earthquake that killed almost 6,000 people. The best preserved area of the complex is the bathing complex with its pools and hydraulic works restored to a functioning bath, although visitors are not permitted to enter the water here. The pools are surrounded by numerous buildings and tunnels from where the former Sultan would view over the pools. Legends go that there is a secret tunnel that connects parts of the long-gone and overbuilt complex with the Indian Ocean, where the Queen of the South Sea, Nyai Loro Kidul, is said to have her palace. Although there are quite a few tunnels that have been uncovered over the years, that tunnel to the ocean, some 25 kilometers to the south, actually existing is highly unlikely. Of the two pools in the restored Umbul Pasiraman bathing complex, the one we're visiting right now, one was reserved for the Sultan and his concubines. The main pool is divided by a bridge, so it may appear that there are actually two pools. Heading deeper into the complex, we find ourselves in one of the short tunnels that used to lead to some other part of the complex. Nowadays, you end up in gardens of locals that live around here. Still a cool walk though. And though, that strange hissing sound you hear, that's the local sniffing the nose loudly, probably because he liked the echo inside here. I don't know, something like that. It's still gross. The structures here look kind of unorganized. That's because large parts of it have been lost forever. But what is here is mostly rebuilt at least a few times because of wars and earthquakes. The British arrival in Yogyakarta in 1812 damaged it, and the Java War between 1825 and 1830 didn't help either. And then there was that massive earthquake in 1867, and another large one in 2006. Most will remember that one. For sure I do, as it was just 6 weeks before I moved to Indonesia, to Yogyakarta, the city hardest hit. What we see here are some resting areas with concrete beds. As these buildings have been rebuilt, it is likely that local builders made something nice out of it from their imagination, because the site only became a protected heritage site in the 1970s. This is the western gate of the bathing complex, Gedong Gapura Hagung. The eastern one is where we actually started our video, Gedong Gapura Panggung, which is also the main entrance for tourists. The gate where we are now used to be the main entrance to the bathing complex. This gate can now be found inside the dense neighborhood. but this used to be wide open fields when it was constructed in about 7065 CE.